Hey y'all, what's poppin'? It's your girl Taylor. So for today's video, while it's still Pride Month, I thought I'd do some gay shit. So let's talk about Pride. So welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you are a new subscriber and you just found me while looking up gay shit on YouTube. Hi, I'm Taylor. Thank you for viewing. Thank you for coming back if this is your 20th, 2nd, 5th, 0.5 videos of watching me. I really appreciate you, and for all the new people here, definitely be sure to subscribe to my channel so you can see more gay shit and see me. And who wouldn't want to see me? So, Pride. I think we all, like queer people in general, even straight people, have a certain way of viewing Pride. Me personally, I fucks with Pride. Heavy. I fucks with Pride heavy. Pride is probably the highlight of my summer, because when, like in my area, Pride happens like late, mid-August basically. So that's like the whole summer I'm just ready for Pride. I'm like, okay, Pride. Okay, Pride. Hurry up. Hurry up. And then I go to Pride at the full. I fucking love it. However, there are a lot of people who know nothing about Pride, have a weird perception about Pride, or think Pride is useless. So we're gonna talk about these things in a video. So as usual, I have a list on my phone because my ADHD tends to have me ramble and get off track. So to start off, let's explain how Pride started. So it's kind of hard to talk about how Pride started because there's so much misinformation. However, I will give you just the gist of it. So, you know, 1960s, Stonewall. There were a couple of times the queer community did push back against police brutality before then. However, Stonewall is that important moment. It's like our Martin Luther King's walk on wow, I don't know history apparently. You know where Martin Luther King walked to Lincoln Memorial, I want to say. I don't know, I'm kind of bad at history but somehow kind of good. But anyways, that's like our moment basically. That's the moment that we always look back to. We always look back to Stonewall, the riots, the marching. We always look back to certain people. And basically, queer people were fighting against police brutality and laws that were made to normalize us, I guess is what they were trying to do. I don't fucking know. It was dumb as hell. In the end, queer people have been fighting for years. And I mean years, even before Stonewall. We had people out here, you know, tricking straight men, thinking that they were gonna see a woman, you know, do acrobatics. Turns out at the end of the show, freaking Vander took off his wig and showed everyone that he was a guy, trying to get people to experience drag shows. We had, you know, gay people who helped out the US Army during the Revolutionary War. We had gay people doing art. Oh my god, don't even get me started on the Italian Renaissance. How many people are, you know, thought of to be queer or, you know, of that LGBT nature. There's so many times that gay people have fought back throughout history. It definitely did not start at Stonewall and definitely does not end at Stonewall. Remember that. At the end of the day, we are still fighting for our rights around the entire globe, because in a lot of places around the globe, even in the US, they want to kill us. So we're always fighting and stuff. And Pride is just a really important event for us to just be ourselves. You know, for some people that's dressing up like a fucking unicorn, and for other people that's wearing their favorite hoodie and walking around looking at all the brands that want to sell us queer stuff or invite us to queer events. I've seen choir groups, I've seen, you know, brands offering jobs saying that, you know, like, we're extremely open to queer people. I've seen a lot of people, like a lot of different corporations come to Pride, not just to make money, but to show that they give back to the community, which I think is really important at the end of the day. But I think Pride should always be about how can you give back to the community, whether that's donating your old clothes to trans youth, donating to trans youth, helping out trans youth find housing, kids that were kicked out, helping them find housing, donating to youth like queer youth organizations, donating to LGBT centers. You know, there's a lot of ways you can help out the community, and, you know, definitely going to Pride is definitely a big start, because the more people that are there, the cooler it gets, to be honest. My Pride, I'm in a big city, but kind of a small city. Charlotte Pride it used to be smaller, but over the years I've definitely seen it grown, and a lot more people are coming, and a lot of LGBT people, a lot of people who are just allies, who are just interested, and I think that's one of the great things about Pride is that everyone can go, and it's a judgment-free zone. So Pride today is basically a giant festival and a giant parade. My Pride usually has 3 days. We have the big festival where we usually have like a famous performer. Last year we had Cupcake, we've had Seven Streeter, we've had, usually the bigger your city is, the bigger the performer. Like I've seen Solomon Ray perform, I've seen Amara La Negra perform. There's usually a performer and like a big festival day. Then there's the parade, and then the festival's kind of like the half day, and then the last day is usually like a small day. I think this year's like from what, 12 to 6 or something. And that's usually just to walk around the festival, enjoy the music. It's not really crowded that day, so if you have like really bad social and crowd anxiety, that day is definitely suited for you. I usually just go for the day of the big festival, all the performers and everyone's there, because I enjoy a good crowd. I enjoy seeing a shit ton of lit people around me, lit as in having fun and drunk as fuck, because drunk people at Pride, yo, they be the funnest to hang out with, to be honest. So Pride today is like a big festival, and a lot of people look at that as a bad thing, but I don't really see it as a bad thing. While I think it's important that we remember our roots, I remember that Pride was originally like, you know, a riot, a march, speaking demonstration, or a demonstration in public. Hell, Bob the Drag Queen, back when queer marriage was illegal, he was in full drag in New York City and got arrested. You know, that's a version of Pride. Like that's, you know, Pride is, you know, all those things, but it can also be a festival. It can also just be having fun. That's your way of executing your Pride. You know, there isn't a strict way to have Pride, and I think the idea that we have to do a bunch of activism shit, like you should always be doing activism, like, you know, in some way, shape, or form, whether it's sharing a petition or signing the petition or making a petition. You should always be doing some sort of activism when it comes to your community that is marginalized. That's period. But that's not for everybody. Everybody has their different forms of activism, and I think the idea that Pride is no longer a good thing because we're not throwing bricks at buildings anymore, I think that's kind of stupid, to be honest. But so why is Pride important? Now, Pride is important because it's our fucking history and it matters. Short answer. Long answer, Pride is important because around the world today we are still facing persecution, whether legally or like hood justice ways. You know, Black trans women are still being murdered around the country. A lesbian couple was just beat up in London for not kissing, which is exactly, it's bullshit. You know, gay people are still being killed in multiple countries. You know, Russia had that big gay concentration camp thing, so it's not like queer people are 100% free to do wherever we want, even though it might not be happening, like, you know, concentration camps for gay people aren't being made in the US. It is so important for us to execute our right to have a festival dedicated to us and our history, to show that we're here and we will fight back, period. You know, a lot of countries you still can't marry someone of the same biological gender as you. You still can't, you know, be hired for being queer. You still can't do a lot of shit just for being yourself, you know. And there's all this talk about, like, you know, religion and stuff, but the moment you put your religion into laws, that's not okay. Separation of church and state, that's period. It does not matter if you're Baptist, Pescatarian, Jewish, Catholic, Muslim, Buddhist, whatever. You cannot put your religious laws as actual laws. Like, that doesn't, it's not clicking for me. And I think that's a big problem, is that instead of using the kind side of your religion to accept someone, you know, you can think in the back of their head, oh, okay, that's cool, you're a really awesome person, you're going to hell, but it's not cool to outright persecute someone, kill someone, throw someone in jail for something that is not really for you to judge. Because, correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but I can't think of a single religion that tells someone to judge another person. Maybe I'm tripping, but a lot of religion It's not up to y'all, to be honest, whether y'all are monotheists or polytheists, no matter if you have 100 gods or one god. I don't recall a single scripture in any text, correct me if I'm wrong once again, that says that the followers have the right to judge someone else's sins. And the fucked up part is the fact that so many sins fly under the radar. The Bible even says no sin is greater than the other. So I'm just confused as to why there's a big uproar about this, but y'all niggas out here eating swine, you know, shellfish, tattoos and shit, but there's not religious stuff around that. There's no religious laws stopping y'all from getting, you know, tattoos of choking hazard on your dick. It's not clicking for me, honestly. We need a safe space. Now, don't get me wrong, like, you know, safe spaces are important, period. Everybody has a safe space no matter what. That little, what's it, Republican, conservative, Christian convention y'all have over there, that's y'all's safe space to be as bigoted as y'all want. My safe space is over here with the drag queens and the non-binary people. And that's cool, everybody has a safe space. So the idea that queer people are special snowflakes because we have a whole festival for our safe space, it's not clicking for me, because honestly, everybody has a safe space. Why is straight pride not important? Come here. Y'all not fucking killed for it. Short answer. Short answer. Now, y'all not killed for nothing. Y'all not persecuted for being straight. Y'all didn't go through years of forced conversion therapies. Y'all haven't gone through years of wrongful imprisonment. Y'all didn't go through years of your rape, murders, and sexual abuses being, you know, looked away by the legal system because you're queer. Like, y'all didn't go through any of that. So the idea that a whole straight pride festival is needed is kind of dumb, especially because the unfortunate situation is a lot of people don't know about queer culture. It's not taught in our schools. And I feel like, you know, like I said, I'm a big history person. I love me some history. I feel like if queer history was taught in schools, so many people would understand the queer community more. And I feel like the schools who happen, I think it's New Jersey, just started requiring that queer history be taught. You know, obviously a lot of comments were mad and stuff, but the thing is, y'all don't know anything about queer history, so does our history not matter? I mean, let's not act like there's like 4 queer people in the entire world. This is millions, billions of people. They may not all be gay men. They could be trans women, trans men, non-binary trans people, you know, trans masc, you know, gender fluid, demisexual, bisexual, pansexual, asexual, intersex people. Like, there's so many different people who aren't being taught their history whatsoever, so they grow up thinking that they have no history and that the only thing to their culture is porn and drag queens. And that's just how I grew up, basically. I didn't know anything about my history. I didn't know where to look. There's so many things that aren't given to us, so many resources that aren't given to us that we have to go out and look for. But the problem is, when you're younger, you don't know where to look. You don't know where to look. So teaching queer history is extremely important to not just queer youth, but the youth of today. Kids around the world are still killing themselves and cutting themselves for being bullied because of their queerness. That's another thing too. Y'all history isn't shunned away in a corner. Y'all history is right there. Like, I don't understand why y'all think y'all need a pride when nothing's ever been taken away from you for being straight. Like, y'all aren't marginalized whatsoever. You can have normal sexual experience in high school. A lot of queer people don't have that opportunity. You can have crushes and tell your crushes. They might reject you, but that's it. They're not rejecting you because they don't like your sexuality, or that they're not your sexuality, or they're too scared to come out. The difference in the way the two communities grow up, that's the difference. Like, that's why gay people need a pride. That's why gay people deserve a pride. I'm not saying that you shouldn't be proud for being straight. You should always be proud for, you know, who you are, who you love, whatever, some stuff. But the idea that y'all need an event to do what, really? Like, literally, I really want to know, what is straight pride supposed to be? I really want to know, because honestly, it's not clicking. It's not clicking. Nothing's clicking whenever I see the straight pride post and stuff. It's really dumb. And, you know, I always wondered why people get so pressed about not having a straight pride month. But you being able to walk down the street holding your significant opposite sex other's hand and not having your ass beat, that is your straight pride. You not having to come out to your parents without worrying that you could be kicked out of the house and be homeless, that is your straight pride. You not thinking that because no one will hire you, you have to resort to sex work, that's your straight pride. There's so many moments that's like your straight pride. You being able to go down to a conservative area, you know, and not worry that you could be kidnapped and killed, that is your straight pride. You knowingly avoiding certain countries to travel to because you might be killed for your sexuality, that's your straight pride. Your straight pride is being fucking born and having the world cater to you and your sexuality. And that's on period. But anyways, that is the end of this video. That was a long rant, I know. Thank you for making it this far with me. I'm gonna go, I don't know what I'm about to go do, probably watch Pride videos or listen to gay music or whatever. But I thought at the end of this video, what I would do is put a little slideshow of queer people who should always be remembered throughout the end of time. And yeah, that's basically the end of this video. Be sure to comment, like, subscribe, and hit that bell notification. Make sure to share with all your friends, explaining to them kind of just a general idea of what Pride is and why we have Pride. Definitely comment if you are going to Pride for your first year and you're wondering how Pride works, and this video helped you. I love helping queer youth. It is, you know, important. It is so important to help the queer youth so they don't grow up, you know, with fucked up mentalities like we did. Yeah, I really enjoyed doing this. I ranted and went off topic a lot, but I get really passionate when I rant, so I guess that's just me being perfect. But, you know, thank you guys for watching. Be sure to subscribe and hit that bell notification. Bye.
Thought I'd end up with Sean, but it wasn't a match. Wrote some songs about Ricky, now I listen and laugh. Even almost got married, and for Pete I'm so thankful. Wish I could say thank you to Malcolm, cause he was an angel.